Hi, my name's Jimmy, and welcome to my channel where I will talk about Korean movies. Right now, I'm coming to you from Airbnb in Korea because I'm undergoing a 14-day quarantine. I entered the country from overseas, and the government mandates that all overseas travelers have to be in isolation for 14 days, which means I am unable to leave those doors and basically stuck in this room, but it is providing me ample time to catch up on movies, watch some old TV shows, and even share my impressions of them up on YouTube. The first movie I'd like to introduce to you guys and share my impressions on is a 2017 film called The Villainess by director Chung Byung-gil. You can think of The Villainess as Chung Byung-gil's homage to La Femme Nikita, which is a French film from the early 90s by Luc Besson. The overall premise is very similar. You have a female assassin that's highly skilled, trained to become an assassin by some secret organization, assigned various targets, but then complications ensue. That really is all you need to know about the story, because what really makes The Villainess special are the action sequences. The opening 8.5 minutes is a single shot, like one take sequence, and a lot of that opening is also shot in first person perspective. So I know first person POV is something that we've seen in Hardcore Henry, but what makes it different here is just the action, the speed of the action. And because the movie takes place in Korea, a lot of the weapons that our villainess utilizes are hand-to-hand combat weapons. So when she goes for a kill, she has to get really up close and personal. So much so that you can even see the facial expressions of all the victims as she's taking them out. Combine that with the one-cut nature of the sequence, you really do feel like she's maneuvering her way through each of the rooms and the hallways, taking out each target one at a time. So that opening sequence, very impressive. It really convinces you that this movie is worth watching. The other action sequences in the middle, one of them involves a motorcycle, and that sequence was so inspiring for the John Wick director that he basically paid homage to it and copied it into John Wick 3. So if you've seen John Wick 3 and you remember a sequence with a bunch of motorcycles, it was copied or influenced by The Villainess. The action brings you in. The story is sufficient to keep you there. It's not anything special. A lot of the story is brought to you through these numerous flashbacks, and the flashbacks jump to different time periods as well. I kind of found it confusing. Sometimes I would get lost in what time period I was in. I would get lost about what the takeaways would be for certain flashbacks. So in the latter half of the movie, when the eventual double crosses and the reveals are happening, the impact just wasn't there because I wasn't following the story the whole time. Probably not what the director intended. You might have better luck with the story and enjoy it more than me, but I would say it's adequate to make you care about the character, make you care about the main villainess, played by Kim Ok-bin, who does a very good job in portraying the lead. However, it's just not executed cleanly to make it special beyond the action sequences. You can check out The Villainess on Hulu if you're in the US. Hulu overall, it doesn't have a lot of Korean movies. The last time I checked, there was about a half dozen or so. But for the few that they do have, I thought the selection was pretty good. Parasite by Bong Joon-ho, it's the only streaming platform that has Parasite right now. But if you're looking for more Bong hits, they also have Mother and Barking Dogs Never Bite, which are other lesser known Bong Joon-ho films. As much as I liked Snowpiercer and Okja, there is something about Bong Joon-ho working with an all-Korean crew and cast that brings out more out of him as a director. So definitely recommend you check out Mother. And overall, like the half dozen or so Korean films on Hulu are pretty good and they're all worth checking out, but definitely start out with The Villainess. That's it for this. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.